Hello everyone, my name is Siddharth Kumar and currently I'm working at NCR Corporation as a software engineer. So today we will be talking about my interview experience at Infosys for system engineer specialist role. So Infosys hire for three roles. First is the system engineer, second is the system engineer specialist, and third is the power programmer. So I was interviewed for the system engineer specialist role at Infosys through Hack with Infi competition. So Hack with Infi is a coding competition which is organized by Infosys every year. So in that basically we have three rounds: first round, second round, and the third round, that is the grand finale round. So after the second round, if you could do well in the coding, then they will call you for the interview. So for me it happened in the year 2020. So in the first round there were three coding questions, and out of that I could solve all those three. And in the in the second coding test there were three questions, and in that we were not able to see whether the answer that we have submit is correct or not, because in that they have hidden all the test cases. So because of that I was not able to check whether whatever the solution that I have provided, whether it was correct or not. But I guess that I had solved two questions perfectly, like completely 100%. So after that I got the opportunity to interview with Infosys. So for system engineer specialist through Hack with Infi, you might have 1 to 2 rounds depending upon your feedback on your first round. So for me I had only one round, and in that one round I was literally asked HLD. Yes guys, I'm not joking here, but I was asked HLD at Infosys for system engineer specialist role. They asked me actually, but didn't ask me completely in the depth, but they asked me basics of it. Like they asked me like, which is your favorite app to use? I said it's Facebook. Then they asked me how will you build Facebook? And then I had to describe everything about Facebook. Before that, actually, we had that requirement gatheration. What will be the feature that we will have in our Facebook? And after that, we had discussion over like how we are going to implement those features. Some of the features were like how the friend suggestion will be showed to a person, and the second one was like how the friend list, all those lists will be managed, and how the photos or any media will get stored in the database, whether I will be using SQL or no SQL or some other thing. So that interview went for around 45 minutes, and it was kind of HLD. It wasn't like they weren't expecting me to know the concept of HLD, but they were expecting me to know how to actually design a Facebook. Like they weren't, it means that they weren't expecting me to answer everything in depth of HLD, but yeah, they were expecting me to answer some basics of HLD. So after when I was done with that interview, it took somewhere around uh, 3 weeks for the result to come, and after that I got to know that I'm selected at Infosys for system engineer specialist role in 2020. So this was my experience, interview experience at Infosys for system engineer specialist role. So this role, one thing that I wanted to make clear here is that this role is different from the normal system engineer role. There are basically three roles, as I mentioned, for which Infosys hires: system engineer specialist, and power programmer. So system engineer specialist is different from system engineer. So this system engineer specialist and power programmer comes under uh, programmer specialist role. So one of the best thing that I liked about Infosys was that I was informed about the interview and my application regularly, and I was also asked when I would like to give my interview. So everything in terms of interview, everything was managed by Infosys really well. At the end, I would say it was a really an awesome experience for me to give an interview for a system engineer specialist role at Infosys. At the end, I didn't join the company because by the time they have asked me to join the company, I had offers from other company, and finally I decided to go ahead with NCR Corporation. But at the end, I would say it was really a very cool experience for me to give an interview for Infosys. So interview preparation. For the interview preparation, I would suggest you guys to do online coding on the online platforms such as Lead Code and Geeks for Geeks, and do hard question to medium question on that, because nowadays the level of questions which these companies are asking in their test is really very high, and they're really asking very tough and hard questions. So if you do medium and hard level question, then you will able to do maybe one or two questions, and then that will be enough to get you an interview opportunity at Infosys. And Regarding the interview, I would say that interview depends upon the person who is taking your interview. That might, because or different people might have different experience depending upon the person who has taken their interview. So for me, I was asked HLD, but this is very rare scenario that someone will ask you HLD if you are a fresher. In most of the cases, I have talked to many people who have joined Infosys as system engineer specialist, and in the most of the cases, the interviewer have asked them questions on Java, Python, operating system, and some of the basics concepts of computer science. So I would recommend you guys to do some coding, and after maybe you can prepare one high level language and then some basic computer science concept, and that should be, I guess, more than enough to crack Infosys system engineer specialist role. So thank you guys, thank you for joining, and thank you for watching my video. Do like and subscribe my video. I hope that this video will be helpful for you. Thank you.